Hello and welcome back to Cultist Simulator with me, Barden. Right, so we're here with Father Ted. Now, let's remind ourselves of what our main aims are. So, ultimately our aim is to get a certain ending for the priest, which involves getting a number of different injuries and doing rituals with them, etc. But for right now, our main aim is to try to get a 12th level. What are these called again? 12th level tool. Yeah. So Forge 12. So we got Forge 8 there. We're looking for Forge 12 one. That's going to help us to. It's going to help us with some of the things that we wanted to do in terms of that. So some of the rituals that we're going to have to do later on. So we're going to continue to combine these things together to be able to do that. So just having a look around here on things that I need to be cognizant of at the minute. So I guess combining is going to be a big thing for us in this one. We also have a number of books that we can translate, so we're going to have to do that as well. Yeah, so in terms of today's episode, our, I guess, two main goals. One is to combine so we can go in another one of those, and the other then is to get through some of these books as well. Okay, so I think that's actually working on the combination here. It is, yeah. Okay, good. Right, so let's run things on. Let's that one there as well. I'll have to have a look at that. Okay, we don't want the restlessness, so we're going to pick one of these. We go for the orchard. Okay, we get a glimmering. Let's pop that there. Entering the white door, the sunless splendor, the hour, who once ruled the manses, was known to walk in the orchard. For his terrible division. Sometimes his remnants walk here still. Sometimes I see the chilly radiance of the menacate through the trees, or the chillier radiance of the sun and rags. Were to come upon me, it might be my end, but to see them in the distance is a gift of insight. Okay, so collect those. So now we have a glimmering that we could use that, for combinations, which is nice. Okay, and we should actually go back in here again. So we need some health. We got plenty of health, thanks to the fact that we converted some of our reason and some of our passion. It was a pretty nice health total. We've also got, let me check. So, I don't think that, is that total right? 6? What do we need here? Curl my hand into the correct shape and be... Oh, that's just our work. Okay. Yeah. Don't worry about that. Yeah, I feel like... What am I missing here? Do we have 7 health, but that... Oh, one of these is probably taken up there, right? But then we've only 2 there. Something else is going on. I'll have to wait until everything kind of comes out, I think, to work out what is going on, because we should have 15 in total, right? So we have 6 there and 1 there, 7, and then 6 there is 13, but it should be 15 because normally it's 5, 5, and 5, right? Okay, well, let's provide reason there. So hang on. Skilled and open soul. I'm pretty sure that is top tier, right? Behold, I stand at my door and knock. If I hear any voice, I will open the door, and they will come into me and sup with them, and they with me. Passion and skill can increase no further. Okay. Yeah. And then this one as well. Reason and skill can increase no further. And health and skill can increase no further. Okay. So maybe it's just the priest has less total, because generally, oh no, that just went up to 7 for a second. Okay, let's grab that one there. We'll figure it out hopefully at some point. Many of the dead enter the mansions through the white door. They wander its corridors in silence until they are lost. Some embrace each other, some devour each other, some forced away into the dreams of the living. A few record their memories on the mantis stone, where it is soft. They scratch it with their nails, you see. Last night I read one of those memories. So we've got another fort of truth, which is good. Okay, and then we go here, and oh yeah, start that, and provider health. So we do have 7 health. So do I have some decrepitude somewhere that needs to be handled? Or is it just that my total is 13 with the priest? Could be that it's just 13 with the priest. What's that? That's already read. Okay, yeah, that's why you're up there. Okay. Yeah, still got to find a layout that I'm completely satisfied with as well. Fleeting memory can go up here. I've increased my knowledge of the secret histories behind the one we know. Okay. So got you there. Now, you could be a little bit worrying just because there's one already in there. Okay. So we have that there. Now we've got to combine 2 more. How long do you have left? 102. Okay, so we're gonna have to study for an erudition. Then we're gonna have to study for another glimmering, unless we get one from here, because that won't be available by the time we need it. Okay. Yeah, I guess I never really stopped to look at the totals here before that much. But I thought we did have 5, 5, and 5, and then we converted. We converted to each of the others. But from looking at things, I guess I was wrong with that. Unless, pretty sure decrepitude doesn't have a timer. So if we created decrepitude, it wouldn't have disappeared. But where? I don't see it on the board if we do have any more. We've got all of our lore there. Got our locations there. Got some books there. Some more books, then people, then tools, contacts. Okay, let's grab you. Okay, I'll take that. The hours have been called unmerciful, but they permit sleepers sometimes to walk in the orchard of lights, where each fruit glows like a sunset, where the roots of the trees are shaped for peaceful rest, where the mist soothes the heart. I was there last night. The taste of the fruit lingers, sharp and sweet, as a passage of spring to summer. Okay, grab that, and we go back in again. Provide some help. Right, so, yeah, note the decrepitude up here. So if we were to go for the ending we need, I think we need 9 health to begin it, which means we'd have to convert one more of each of those, which will put us kind of very tight for those as well, which is not ideal. Yeah, I never thought of that with the priest before. I guess I should have. That they're actually have a lower total, I guess, than some of the other characters. So it does mean that we'll have to do the conversion thing later on to convert one more of each. Passion we're okay. Probably do that sooner than the reason one, but reason we're kind of like right on the edge of where we want to be with that anyway. Let's grab one of these now. Last night in the great pavilion above the grey sprawl of the bounds, a woman who once called herself Theresa Galmier sat on gilt-fringed cushions and offered me a horn cup of dream wine. The wine is imaginary, she explained, but the cup is not. To navigate the mantis, one must understand the distinction. Perhaps one day you'll join me on the pilgrimage, or I'll join you. So here, let us share a secret. And her breath tickled my ear. Okay. Now we can head straight back in again. Nope. Always forget to start that first. There we go. Get our work going as well. Once that decrepitude shows, or the affliction shows up, we'll put it there. Yes, there's still part of me that doesn't believe that the total is 13, but I guess it is. Okay, let's pop you up there as well. Grab that. Put that passion back there. Okay, now. Oh, that's the glimmering. Goes there. You can actually go sit there. Okay, now that means that we can start combining those two. The last addition, then a glimmering, and then I think a fascination. Finish. So yeah, imagine Ted is kind of feeling a little bit uneasy. You know, he's sick again. He's been sick a lot recently, and he's just kind of same kind of realization that we arrived at, that he's, his buffer zones where in terms of his own mortality is not as large as he thought it was, and maybe gave him a bit of a shock as well, and maybe caused his latest bout of illness, or at least made it worse than it normally would be. Okay, we're gonna go for you. Okay, we get some erudition, which is unfortunate because I think the time was a little bit off. Last night's dream, I was in the lodge of the Sage Knight, behind a white door. It is difficult to remember exactly how I came there, and the mistress of the place, the woman with the dark glasses, was nodding as if I had asked her a difficult question. Of course I hadn't. I lost my speech when I passed the white door. How is it that I can speak? She said to me. I didn't come here through the white door. I'm not proud of what I did to come here, so let me tell you about something else. Okay, we got ourselves another erudition, which will not be around when we want to use it again. Okay, we're going to pop you in there, and actually we have some vitality, which you'd use instead. All I need now is time. And we collect you, and get you going. Okay, so you need this erudition, we slot that. But I think as well at this point, within the cult, there's probably a bit more maneuverings going on now as well, because again, people aren't going on expeditions as regularly as they were before. They've also got this, you know, so the first of all got more time on their hands, right? Compared to what they had previously. But in addition to that as well, you know, Ted's been sick a lot lately. People have seen that is starting to make now progress towards his ultimate goal. But either way, I think, you know, those who concern themselves with such things will be thinking that Ted's time in the cult, in terms of the overall life of the cult, is, you know, is beginning to come to an end. Now it's going to be a while before, you know, either one of the things that will remove him from the cult, either his own death or his own ascension, actually comes to pass. But still, you know, those who fail to prepare for that, you know, eventuality will not be able to, you know, to seize power at the appropriate time. So I imagine now that there are people looking to, you know, maybe form alliances or to just undermine their opponents and stuff like that, or likely opponents for that position. And things maybe not as rosy in the cult as they have been in the past. Maybe going back to the bad old days of, you know, different factions kind of sniping at each other and that kind of thing. Some days are better than others. Sometimes the sky's nothing like a filthy sheet. Sometimes the river runs clear. And Ted, I would say at this point, doesn't really have much time to, you know, not much time really to concern himself with things like that. He's, at this point, he's focused on getting the things that he needs, and not necessarily, you know, concerned anymore about the politics within the cult. And that's kind of more left to Enid and Neville, who are, I would say, less well equipped to deal with those kind of things in terms of the, you know, day-to-day administration of the cult and things like that. They've had a lot of experience of that, but generally in terms of actual leadership, in terms of keeping people in line, or, you know, stamping down any kind of, you know, thoughts of rebellion or factions and stuff like that, Ted has either taken a personal hand in things, or he's relied on the stronger members of the cult to do that for him, either out of a sense of loyalty to him or out of a sense that in order to maintain their own position in the cult, they need to stop they need to kind of put a stop, or at least put a spanner in the works for anyone that they see as a potential rival. Whereas now it's kind of, the gearing up to the point where it may be open season. Right now it's not like that. People are kind of quietly maybe going about. There's maybe, whispered conversations and people making, oh yeah, that erudition is gone. Okay, so we're going to have to study again. Let's go to reason. Yeah, and people may be making promises that, they may or may not be intending to keep, or even making promises that they intend to keep but maybe won't keep, just because of nobody's really sure what's going to happen. It's one of the main things. I think the kind of the theme of the cult, if you like, at the moment is probably one of uncertainty. The sun and splendor, the hour who once ruled the manses, was known to walk in the orchard before his terrible division. Sometimes his remnants walk here still. Sometimes I see the chilly radiance of the menascape through the trees, or the chillier radiance of the sun and rags. Ready to come upon me, it might be my end, but to see them in the distance is a gift of insight. Okay, so we have a glimmering, and we're going to get an erudition out of that as well. So I think that glimmering might be pretty well timed. It's going to be very close, I think. Going to be kind of on the edge of where we need it to be. Oh, and we should get that going again. Mirrors are calm, the sun is steady, the glow recedes. I'm sane, if that means anything. Okay, pop it there. We have our erudition. So pop that there for when we need to use it. And now is pretty much when we need to use it. So let's combine these two. Start that. Okay, pop you up there as well. I think we should get one new top level place in this one. Okay, so we got ourselves another erudition. Let's click that. Pause for a second. Now, it's probably not going to be as useful. Again, it depends on how long things are going to take. But it's going to be looking for this erudition soon. And then after that, that glimmering. We've got to hope that the timing is right for those two. There goes for the erudition. Yeah, I think that's going to have maybe 10 to 20 seconds, somewhere in that region, left at the point where it's going to be required. Okay, building up some potential dread up there. Right, let's go for you. Favor from authority. Not bad. Last night I dreamt of a blue silk pavilion overlooking the cloudy labyrinth of the bounds. I listened to the mistress of the place speak of other visitors. The Suppression Bureau come here. Did you know that? I think they hope to recruit me as an ally. She snorts derisively. After what they tried to do to Christopher? Their folly is your fortune. I will tell you something that may help you, if the Bureau ever troubles you. Okay, and that is a lovely thing to have, so we're very, very pleased about that. Let's get that going. Okay, yeah, dread becomes a bit of an issue now. So, let's try and head it off by doing this. The drinks, the songs, the light, the arching walls, the smoky haze, the press and sway of clothed and unclothed flesh. Okay, you need that. So yeah, I don't think... Well, it's going to be close, I think, for that one. Whether or not we can use it. Let's pop you up there. Let's hope that it takes you next and not that dread. Okay, keep things going with our work. You know, again, we probably got more money than we'll ever need to spend. Okay, we're going to try there. The hours have been called unmerciful, but they permit sleepers sometimes to walk in the orchard of lights, where each fruit glows like a sunset, where the roots of the trees are shaped for peaceful rest, where the mists soothe the heart. I was there last night, and the taste of the fruit lingers, sharp and sweet as the passage of spring to summer. Okay, pulsing airs, which will degenerate into vitality. Okay. Start going again. Ooh, okay. Ooh, and yeah, that took the dread rather than the contentment. Right, so it now makes sense to pop back to the club again. The drinks, the songs, the light, the arching walls, the smoke blue haze, the press and sway of clothed and unclothed flesh. Okay, just the standard one as we got last time as well. We have you to deal as well, yeah. So Ted, seeing like, has noticed a few people kind of whispering, and maybe like as he approaches, stopping the conversations as well, and been kind of getting to him a bit because, again, he was hyper focused on, you know, achieving his ascension and not really paying that much attention to what was going on. But now it's becoming more and more obvious that this certainly is a period of uncertainty. Oh yeah, these guys. Yeah, they should be like that. Okay. Now, you've got 5 seconds left, so yeah. Not going to happen, is it? So, let's study for another one there. Okay, grab that. Just says back to work again. Okay, try there. So fascination. Okay. Last night, in the billowing blue of the lodge of the sage knight, I sat on velvet cushions and watched two dead contend with shining swords. They came at the place, said the woman who rules here now, the one who once called herself Galmier. I was not the sage knight, if that's what you're wondering. He went higher in the mantis, long before I came here. My attention has drifted, the swords sparkle like falling water, the dead move like dancers. You certainly were very much fascinated by that. Okay. Now, this illness has damaged my health. I need to rest before I am fully recovered. Okay. Pop you in there. How long do you have left? 49. Okay. So we'll just pay. It's a better idea. The medicine is dark and bitter as tar. It would be easy to suspect I'm being poisoned. Oh, I'm actually going to get vitality out of that as well. There's another contentment for us. Some days are better than others. Sometimes the sky is nothing like a filthy sheet. Sometimes the river runs clear. Okay, so you and you up there. And continue running things on. Right. You've basically just got to cascade these up now. My own heart pumps more strongly today. Yes, so Ted beginning to feel a bit better. Probably getting a bit of fight back as well. And I imagine when he comes back this time, he's going to not necessarily stamp out all the, all the machinations that are going on. But at the same time, he certainly will damp things down a bit. I don't think at this point anyone can really stop the political maneuverings that are going to happen to try to replace him. But he can certainly have an influence on how much of it goes on. Okay, so we get our health back. Keep on going there. Okay. So you're on the lookout again. Unfortunately, our contentment that we got didn't last too long. Tonight the performers pass among the audience, juggling knives or bottles of red glass, bending to bestow whispers or other gifts. And get some vitality out of that. Hopefully some contentment as well. Because then the contentment would solve that, and in turn then we get a fleeting reminiscence which would solve that. A dancer presses a red glass cup to my mouth. Its lip was sharp. My mouth is bleeding, but the wine within was a strong wine. Okay. So we're feeling very vital at the minute, apparently. Pretty vitality there. Okay, we got a glimmering. It's great. So now let's work on these two. Yeah, it's literally stepping stones, right? We get that one from there. We'll have two there. We combine. We get one there. We combine. We get one, another one there. We combine, and finally we got our target. Okay, where do we go? Let's try here. Another glimmering, okay. I recall my dream, just a lodge of blue silk flapping in the winds of the bounds at the mantis's edge, and here was his mistress, who welcomed me as she welcomes all travellers. Company's nice, she confided, but I still miss my Christopher. 10 years. 10 years are not enough. But we could not have been long together, not without touching each other. I know what occurs when a man long lies with a long woman. Perhaps you don't. I hope you don't. I won't tell you just in case. I'll give you a tiny gift. Okay, we get the glimmering. And we pop back in here again. Duel of Despair prowls elsewhere. Okay, slot there. Which one of these is older? No, we're not paying much. Yeah, so by the time we use that one up, that one will be gone. I'm gonna try there. Oh, nice. Okay, that's good. Last night I visited the lodge of the Sage Knight. My hostess manifested as an elegant woman with fashionably short hair and dark glasses. No, she admits, I don't need them anymore, any more than I need eyes. Allow me my sentimentalities, but you come here for knowledge, I expect. Here's a story I heard in my Kerisham days. You're welcome to it, or remember me if you come to make the pilgrimage. Okay. Another one of those. And we've got you as well. Pop you there. Okay. And back we go into the mantis. But you're going to capture that one, so gotta get to the club again. Start that. Okay. Let's get you going. I purchase pleasure, a real home in the ungodly hours, and collapse into bed. Will help with that. Now you need the glimmering. He's on the hunt, not informed to find. We're fine with that. Right. Last night I walked in the Orchard of Lights. I plucked the fruit, which is always ripe, and consumed it in 2 bites. The taste is not to be forgotten. As I licked the glowing juice from my fingers, I saw a message carved in the bark of the tree. When I woke, I recorded that message, all I could remember, in my diary. Okay. Pretty happy to have done that. And we continue on. Okay. Okay, so we're going to wait until that one's done and then probably end the episode. The next episode will be basically the combination and then going on the expedition and hopefully finding what we've been seeking. And then that will also allow us to work on some of the books as well, which would be good. Let's go to... I've seen that one recently. Okay, yeah. So, just as kind of a reminder to myself, let's start that up for next time. Oops, apologies. Need to move you. And we'll start you up as well. Okay, good. And I think that is where we leave that one. So hope you've enjoyed. Hope you keep me safe out there. And hope to see you next time. Goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button there on the right, or checking out some other videos here on the left, or perhaps you might even share with some friends.